Hey, what is up, guys? It's Extended here. Been a while. As you all know, S4 just dropped about a week and a half ago, and I figured why not make a tier list. I made this tier list, major characters, or what I consider major characters, from S1 to S4. I'm going to judge them basically on three things: character complexity, amount of screen time, and how much I just like them as characters. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, first person, Elle. How am I going to put her below anything other than S tier? I mean, she's the main fucking focus. She's the main character. Yeah, save the world. She's definitely complex. She has a weird ass background, not relatable to many other characters at all. Even if she is a superhero, even if she does gain her superpowers back, she's still abnormal, and that's her personal struggle. So she's definitely complex. As a character, I think she definitely is a good person, and like Dr. Owens said, she's one of the good ones. So I'm going to put her S tier. Oh, this bitch, bro. Angela, I do not like her. She's a bitch to Elle for absolutely no reason. Other than, I guess, Elle sticks out. She's, like I said, abnormal. She's not popular at her school. She's having trouble fitting in. And Angela takes advantage of that. So, just the fact that she's such an asshole for no reason. And, God, I just want to put her in F. But I don't see her as a very complex character. I'm not sure that she'll be in the show a lot longer or not, but I have a feeling that she's going to be a continuous thing for Elle to deal with, even if it is just in little doses. I think we will see more of her season 4, so I'm going to put her C tier. Argyle. Definitely don't hate the dude. Character-wise, he seems like he's a good guy. He just likes to hang around and smoke weed. I mean, there's not much more to it than that. He does seem to be kind of supportive through Jonathan's problems. He tells it like it is. He just says it in his own way, which is he's kind of dumb. That's kind of the gist of his character. He's a dumb stoner, but he's a good guy. He hasn't really done much though, so I'm gonna put him on C tier because I do think we will see more of him. Billy, bro. Billy, I gotta put this man in S tier for the fucking haircut alone. Definitely a complex character. He had his struggles with losing his mom and dealing with his dad's physical abuse. That combined, I do feel kind of bad for him. That kind of turned him into the asshole that he was. I would say, just because he was such an asshole, even if he was kind of cool, that I would put him really low. But since he redeemed himself, if he was still alive, I think he'd be one of the good guys. And he was one of my favorite characters after what he did. So I'm going to put him A tier. Bob Newby. Pretty minute character. I think I might have mentioned this in the iceberg. I might mention that also a couple more times while talking about these characters. But if you guys saw that, I think I mentioned that he's supposed to be in the show a lot shorter than he was. People just liked him so much that they decided to keep him around a little longer. Kind of reminds me of the teacher, which I'm forgetting his name. He was intelligent, and he was a good kind of role model and a supportive father figure, especially for Will, but also to Jonathan and the other kids that kind of hung around them. So sorry to see him go. He seemed like a good guy, but didn't have that much screen time. He did have a massive impact on Joyce, though, so I'm going to put him in B tier. Dr. Brenner. All right, so I did think this guy was another asshole in the beginning. What I'm thinking is he decided to go after Elle, because he figured out that she didn't kill all her siblings, but that number 1 did. The reason she was running is because of what 1 told her, that he was out to get her. But I think they kind of figure out that they're not after each other, and that they understand. And that once she has that realization that it was 1 that killed them and not her, she understands why he was coming after her the whole time. So I think he's going to be a good guy. He's flipping the script our side for the remainder of at least season 4. I'm going to put him in A tier. Chrissy, all right. Definitely not a lot of screen time at all. Rest in peace. Another one of those characters that had their struggles. I think she was bulimic because of what her mother did to her, something along those lines. So she had those struggles to deal with, and that's why Vecna chose her as one of his victims. And she also had just the stress of being so popular and having to keep up that image that she wanted. That made her a bit of an interesting character. So it was interesting to see that they took her out so fast. I'm going to put her in D. Not sure what this guy's name is. I forget. I'm just going to call him Hop's Russian friend. Badass, good morals, not a lot of screen time. Well, for season 4 anyway, we had a decent amount. Even though he's in Russia and he's on the side we're, rooting against, keeping his end of the deal and reaping the consequences of the risks they take and dealing with those consequences with Hop, staying on his team. I respect the hell out of it, and I think he's a good guy. He's definitely going to be Hop's kind of go-to man, I'm thinking, once we see the rest of the episodes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him. He's pretty badass. I'm going to put him A tier. All right, Dustin. It was kind of cool to see all of them develop that intelligence, especially Dustin in particular. He seems to be one of the smarter out of the group. So he does have that going for him, and he is kind of funny. I kind of like his sarcasm he throws, especially at Steve. It's good stuff. So he is one of my favorites out of the main characters, and that's why I'm going to put him in A tier. Eddie, one of my favorite new characters on the line. I actually like a lot of these new characters, which I had not felt in the previous seasons. Like every time a new character came in, I just was so skeptical and wasn't really feeling it. So happy to say that is different for this season. Eddie, typical black sheep of the school grounds, just weird, doesn't care what people think. Yeah, haven't seen a lot of him. He seems like a good guy. I'm not sure about his background or really his complexities as a character. Really interested to see where he falls into place during these next few episodes and maybe in season 5. I'm going to put him in a B tier. Erica, she kind of reminds me of Dustin, just another smart ass but kind of smart character. I haven't seen her nearly as much as the other characters, but I would like to see her in more episodes and more time in the show. But she's definitely one of my favorites. She's funny. Not much background on her really. She just seems to be a little bit ahead of everybody else. She's pretty intelligent, but she's still like one of the younger ones on the lineup. I'm going to put her in B tier. The Russian general, straight up asshole, bro. Tortured Robin and Steve for no reason. Obviously, they're fucking not spies. Like, god damn, this asshole, bro. I guess it's his job, but, we didn't know a lot about him. He was just kind of, serving for the story. But, yeah, I don't like him. He's definitely going F tier. Fucking asshole. The assassin, hitman guy, Russian. A little more complex. Definitely played a way bigger role in the 3rd season. Kind of somebody cool to watch butt heads with Hop. Unfortunately, killed Lexi, which was a devastating part of the story. So he did play a big role. I'm going to put him C tier. Hopper. He's top tier, bro. He's probably one of my favorites. He definitely is one of my favorites. He's top 5 easy. Maybe top 3. Hearing all the shit he's dealt with and watching him develop as a character, continuously just being battered by these hardships and making it through them, it's kind of inspiring, and it's cool to watch, especially in season 3. He's funny. Season 4, I'm not really seeing the same level of a comedy from him. He kind of seems to be just depressed and just sick of it all. Once he sees Joyce and Murray, his whole attitude changes, and it's just so satisfying and heartwarming to see. I can't wait to see how everybody reacts to finding out Hop's still alive. Murray and Joyce alone were really interesting. It must have been so weird for them. It was like seeing a ghost, but yeah, I was really happy to see that they kept Hop in the show. He's definitely going S tier. Jason, I'm not gonna shit on the guy too much. Basically all he knows is that with reasonable suspicion that Eddie murdered his girlfriend and one of his football friends and some other kid. It's that thing, innocent until proven guilty, but it definitely looks like Eddie did it. So I can understand where he's coming from, but he is still kind of an asshole. He kind of reminds me of Steve in season 1, but he's actually less of an asshole than Steve in season 1. So I don't know. I think we're going to see more of him, obviously. He's not dead yet, so I don't know. He's weird. I don't totally hate him, but I don't like him either. So I'm going to put him C tier. Jonathan definitely made his rebound as a good character. All we knew in the earlier seasons was that he was just kind of weird and creepy and kind of just another character that just got shit on because he was different, and that was unfortunate for him, and it was unfortunate to watch. It was nice to see him stand up for himself when he kicked the shit out of Steve, and then he took his girl, which was just damn. So I did like him a little bit more in the earlier seasons, but so far in season 4, it doesn't seem like there's a lot going on except that kind of love issue, or like that love triangle thing with him and Nancy and Steve. So I'm kind of interested to see where that goes, but I'm at the same time I'm kind of sick of it because they've been like going back and forth like 3 different times, like We'll get to Nancy, but she's getting on my fucking nerves. As for Jonathan, I'm gonna put him B tier. He's an important one of the main characters, but he's definitely not my favorite or even my second favorite. Okay, so for these monsters, I'm gonna compare them to the other monsters because there's just not a lot to go off of. They're really just kind of stand-in images for all the conflict. So the Mind Flayer, definitely one of the most boring out of all the monsters. No, it is the most boring. We don't get to see any action with him. It's all like psychological with Will being kind of a spy. So that it's just boring. I don't know. This, in terms of monsters, this is going F tier for sure. Joyce, another character, I think she's the most paid on the show actually, or maybe Hop is, but I don't know why, man. It's just ridiculous. She is a good actor. I'll give her that, but it seems like every time we see her, or at least to me, she's just doing the same kind of whiny, annoyed mom stuff. I don't know. It just seems kind of boring to me, but in terms of importance to the story, she's definitely important, and I think she is a good person. She just got her weird little quirks and stuff. So, yeah, she deserves B tier, maybe A tier, but I don't know. She's not cool enough. I don't like her that much. She's going B tier. Lonnie, Jonathan and Will's dad. It seems like just things between him and Joyce just didn't work out. Like, she just doesn't agree with how he does things. But when we see him talking to Jonathan, it seems like he wants to get close to them. But like, Joyce has just told them so much that he's just such an asshole. I think Lonnie does have some shitty traits. Like, he might have made some mistakes in the past, but it feels like now he kind of wants to be part of their lives. But Joyce just can't look past. I did hear that he was on the cast for this season or maybe next season. So I think if we see him again, I think he's gonna be a good guy. I have the feeling, because it's been building up and he's on the cast, so they got to do something with. Other than that, we haven't seen him. There might be some complexity there, but we don't know anything about it. So maybe if he comes back, we'll hear more about how him and Joyce things fell through. But as of right now, I'm gonna put him D tier. All right, Lucas Sinclair. Nerd to jock. He's one of my favorite characters. He's kind of the mediator of the group. He's always kind of, especially with Will and Mike, he just kind of keeps things from getting too bad, and if they do, they bring it back. He brings it back together. So I like that he's about the team. He's loyal. He's a good guy, and he's also a guy that doesn't fear fighting back and protecting who he loves. So I'm gonna put him S tier. Max. All right, so I was really upset actually when I thought she was about to get murked by Vecna, which was weird because for the whole show I didn't really care for her. Her kind of filling the role of Elle in the group, I think, was like kind of jarring for everybody, mostly Mike, which created a little conflict. But once they kind of got past that, I think it was good for the group, and it just made him stronger. And I think it just added another good person for the group to have on their side. That's all I really think of when I think of Max. She was obviously important to the development of Lucas and giving him someone to care for like Mike had. But that's all I really think of, honestly, when I think of Max. She's kind of a dramatic character. I do think she's a good character. Like, she's got good morals and she's on the right side. Honestly, shit, this one's tough. Because it's never a character I really paid attention to, but now that I'm like looking back and thinking about it, I think she probably deserves A tier. Just her connection with Billy and all the complexity there is kind of poured back onto her, and her struggle with losing Billy, watching her mom develop alcoholism, It's just making her more complex as we go on. And in fighting Vecna, well, not fighting, but escaping Vecna was some badass shit. That was one of the best scenes in the show, in my opinion. So she, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to put her S tier. Okay, I don't even know this guy's name. The mayor, just a fucking typical slimy, corrupt politician character. He played a big role. He fucking let the Russians into Hawkins. So there was that. Bitch. Did he die? I don't even remember what happened to him. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. He was arrested. We might see more of him, maybe. Probably not. I don't think he has any connection with the next story, really. I mean, he was pretty much he was all involved with the Russian stuff. So not a lot of complexity, nothing to go forward on. But yeah, he was an asshole and he was a bad guy and didn't have a lot of time in the show. So I'm going to put him F tier. Actually, no, I take that back. He did leave kind of a big impact on the story. So I am going to put him D tier. Mike Wheeler. I don't know. I don't know, honestly. Definitely an important character. Do not get me wrong, but I don't like him because he is kind of an asshole to like a lot of his friends. He's always bitching at Elle. One of the things he really does bad is just let things slip out and not think twice before he says stuff. He's done that to Will, Elle, his sister. It's really bad. I think he's a good guy, but he needs to get a few things under control and he can improve character in my opinion. Definitely important to the story. So his complexity, it's up there. Importance to the story, up there obviously. And how much I like him, I'm gonna put him A tier. Murray, bro, this guy was a wild card. He's almost on the same level as Hop for me, but just a little, just like a level below. I guess that gives it away, but just his weird skill set and his weird personality is just interesting to watch. And season 4, just like watching him fucking use karate on these fucking like soldiers, it's so fucking weird to watch, but it's cool to watch. And I don't know, I enjoy watching Murray on almost every scene he's in. And just his sarcasm and his attitude, it's just funny. So I'm going to put him in A tier. Nancy Wheeler. Starting off as kind of that bitchy, kind of complainy, silver platter kind of girl. Even like Jonathan said, you live in the cul-de-sac with a 6-figure income, blah, 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 blah. She complains about everything. That's how I remember her in season 1. She's kind of the popular complainer girl. She's kind of the popular girl that just makes up her own problems. But then I watched her kind of develop into a badass, work hard, kind of go-getter character, and that was cool to see. But I mean, I don't know, sometimes she still kind of annoys me. One of the things that I was saying earlier is I'm getting kind of sick of this back and forth romance with her, Jonathan, and Steve. Like, how many times has it gone back and forth? It started with Steve, Jonathan, now it's going to Steve again, right? Like, it's ridiculous. Come on now. Come on, Nancy. Get your stuff together. All right. Final rating. I think she's a good character. She's on the right side, right? She's got her little issues that she can work out. She's really important, and I love to see how much development she had. So I'm going to put her in A tier. Actually, no, I'm going to put her in B tier. Billy's dad. Didn't have a lot of background on him, just that he was an asshole and abused him. I guess maybe his wife dying might have had something to do with it, but that's still no excuse. So once Billy's mom died and he started beating him, it just made things so much worse for Billy and Max for that matter. Complexity wasn't really there. I mean, I guess he has his own struggles, but still. Screen time lacked, and importance definitely up there. I'd say about as much as the mayor. Just leaving so much effect on Billy, and then, like I said, therefore on Maxine, does make him pretty influential to the story, but pretty much an asshole right here. He's going D tier. All right, Robin Buckley. Another character I was kind of skeptical on. Obviously had her struggles coming out to Steve, which was pretty awkward. Sorry, Steve. Watching how that developed over the time between then and season 4 was kind of interesting. So she's pretty out there now. She's not one of my favorites though. I don't know, something about her, but she does have a really cool skill set. So I'm gonna put her about equal with Nancy. So that would be B tier. Steve, funny guy, kind of the dad of the friend group. Dustin especially, and kind of the other guys as well, but mostly Dustin. He kind of started out as a little skittish kind of baby. Well, actually, no, he started out as an asshole and then kind of turned into a skittish little baby. Seeing him go from that to ripping a bat in half while he's just like bleeding out in the upside down, that's pretty cool. So he's definitely grown a lot. Like I said, you guys see my iceberg on Stranger Things. He was definitely meant to be a much worse character, so I'm glad they decided to kind of take him into the good guy direction. He's one of my favorites. I'm gonna probably put Steve in S tier. Max's mom, I'm not sure what her name is. She didn't really provide much more than the dad. She is doing a little more now in season 4. She's kind of leaving an effect on Maxine. What? She's leaving an effect on Maxine because of her drinking habits, dealing with obviously loss of Billy and her husband. Other than that, she's not really an important character. Maybe she will be this season. She's gonna probably be D tier for the moment as well. All right, Susie. So not a lot to go off of on her, except she's got a pretty interesting home life from what we've seen in season 4. She saved the world, so that was pretty cool, and she kind of changed Dustin. It's kind of funny to see how whipped he was singing the Never Ending Story song on the radio. Definitely not that high up there, so I'm gonna say she's probably gonna be C tier. The teacher, I don't remember his name. He's about as important as Bob, I would say. He definitely hasn't been. I don't even think he was in the last 2 seasons. What was he in season 3? Yeah, he was. He kind of served as a father figure and kind of gave the scientific reasons why things were happening when they were trying to figure out what was going on, like Joyce with her magnets, for example. But even earlier than that, he was telling Dustin and Lucas and all of them what was causing, like, they were asking about the gate. He was basically providing scientific, so he was useful in that way, but he hasn't played really a role. He's not in season 4, and I don't know if they plan to bring him back or not, but he definitely played an important role in developing the kids and kind of giving them their scientific spark, if that's what you want to call it. I'll put him in D tier. Will, he was another one of those characters that just kind of got fucked for no reason, like sucked into the upside down. Like, that sucks. Like, why him? And he's got to deal with being gay and losing his friends and a lot of his childhood and kind of being an outcast for what happened, the upside down. And he can't talk about it. And that just, he's got to be fucked up. Like, that's a hell of a struggle for him to deal with. Complexity is definitely up there. Importance is up there. Screen time up there. And I think he's a good guy, and he's just gotta, I'm gonna put him in B tier. Yuri, haven't seen a lot of him. I don't know if we're gonna see him again. It didn't look like he died when they were making the escape or anything, so I think we will. You know, I don't think he's a bad guy necessarily. I just think he's all about the money. I think he would have fulfilled his deal if the Russians didn't provide him a better one. So I mean, I kind of like him, but he's definitely also an asshole at the same time, if that makes any sense. So I think I'm going to put him C tier. Okay, one of my favorite monsters of the 4 seasons, Starcourt Monster, or the Flayed Monster, I guess. it just like the first 2 seasons I was like, dude, this shit is not scary at all. Like I'm only watching for everything else. But once they took it to season 3, I was like, holy shit, this is actually fucking cool. It's high quality. You can see the effects and shit. It's kind of scary. It's disgusting. It's like it's destruction it left in his path. It was cool to watch. So in terms of monsters, I'm gonna put this at A tier. Dr. Sam Owens. Right off the bat, definitely one of the good guys. Helped them escape the lab. Kind of kept a good watch on Eleven and her kind of have a normal life. Did kind of switch up on her in this season, but I think he did it under reasonable pretenses. Like he didn't expect Brenner to do anything bad, but he should have known she wouldn't have liked what he did, even without explanation. So definitely important. Definitely a major part of the story and a good guy overall. So like I said, A tier. All right, the Wheelers. Actually, the Wheelers and the Sinclairs are kind of similar. Basically, both of them were just whipped by their wives, and they don't really have any depth or complexity to them, or a lot of screen time or importance. But the mothers, on the other hand, are pretty influential on the characters, or at least Nancy's mostly. She provides support for Mike, Nancy, while they're going through their struggles. Like when Will got lost, Nancy was dealing with Barbara or the internship thing. She was a good mom then. She did have kind of a slip up with Billy. I know, the mullet gets us all. Yeah, they're pretty much the same, or at least the dad. And then Mrs. Sinclair hasn't been on screen a lot, but she kind of is the same as Mrs. Wheeler. She's just at a lower level. So I'm gonna rank these 4 at the same time, and I'm gonna put Mrs. Wheeler at C. I'm gonna put Mrs. Sinclair at D, and Mr. Sinclair at D as well. Alexi, damn, bro. Oh my god, I really did not want to see Alexi die, bro. He took so much joy into the simplest things, and it was nice to see that, especially after being basically a bitch of the Russian government for so long, watching his friend get murdered right in front of him for not being fast enough. Like, what a bunch of fucking assholes. And then they kill him. God, it pissed me off. In terms of character, he was a great guy. Definitely played importance, gave information on what the gate was, or what the Russians were doing. Hawkins, so I'm gonna put him C tier. Alright, Demogorgon. In season 1, it wasn't very scary to me. It kind of took all the fear away once I saw it, honestly. But once I saw it in season 4, god damn, that shit was fucking cool. Just that fight, if that wasn't in here, this would be going a lot lower. But in terms of the other monsters, I'm not gonna make this super long. I'm probably going to put it C tier. Actually, no, you know what? No, I'm going to put it B tier. Victor Creel. Another character just got fucking chosen to be fucked with for no reason. Like, I've not a lot to say about this guy except he was unlucky. He didn't do anything wrong. And then he gets his whole fucking family murdered, and it's pinned on him. Like, that sucks. That fucking sucks. I don't know if we're going to be seeing more of him, but he definitely gave some really important information to Nancy and Robin. Yeah, feel so bad for this dude. I'm going to put him in C tier. All right, yeah, I know I have both of these on here. I'm just going to put them in both in the same place because I kind of feel like they're different. He was not doing this Vecna shit when he was in human form, I guess. When he was in human form, he seemed to be pretty compassionate, really, with those who are, like he said, misunderstood or taken advantage of. But once, he takes the form of Vecna, he's just fucking going bananas. he's just going bananas. He's murdering everybody. It's just not cool. So in terms of character, I do not like them. I kind of liked him a little bit more. I'll put him C. I mean, in terms of complexity, I'm moving this to B. I'm going to move him to B. In terms of complexity, they're both way up there because they pretty much got the same background. But just the importance and the likable factor, this one, goes way down. I do not like him. I don't like him murking everybody, but he's a fucking scary monster for the series, and he's definitely going to be important for the rest of the season. So I'm going to have to put him S tier for the monsters. Alright guys, so that is going to conclude my Stranger Things S1 to S4 character tier list. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sure a lot of my picks are pretty controversial, so if you have something you would have moved, if I put something too high or too low, let me know. Do not forget to subscribe and like the video. It really helps me out. But other than that, I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day. Thanks. Peace.